you're all rushing towards the top of the stairs of a large main building. And you see somebody open a door and he's waving you in. It's like, quickly, come in, come in.
Do we recognize his uniform?
He looks like a priest. You can actually see it on the map. He's here.
He's a cultist, kill him.
He seems to have some sort of device along his shoulders. He's carrying what appears to be an electronic staff with wires and stuff poking out of it.
Ash, I get that you wanna push the theme that he's a priest, but did he have to have that fucking haircut?
Yeah, yes, that haircut is important, right?
Yeah.
It's the ultimate bull cut.
Right as you go in, he's like, you can hear sounds of battle going on outside. Some of the artillery's still firing off, but it is like, wait, are you okay? Is everything okay? He's like checking you all over as you come on in. He's very handsy. He's like got one hand. He's like checking you over, tilting your head. He's like, yeah, good, good.
It's not necessary. I'm okay.
I didn't expect anyone to come and help us. I am grateful.
Well,
slow down and tell us who you are first. Then we'll decide whether we're here to help you.
Oh, of course. I am Nathan, the caretaker.
What do you care for, Nathan?
Oh, the great Xanaxia. And he like points his staff over towards the end of the hall. He's basically pointing all the way back over here, and you see like a red glowing shield, a slumbering golden form within it, its wings tattered. He like points towards the body on the floor. Our guards try to protect us as much as possible. There is a problem. They sealed her away before we could enter here. They used the device, like a protective room. It can be opened, and he like gestures towards what appears to be like metal along this side. It's almost like a massive door device, but there's a problem. And why are you so close? He's like leaning back there. He's like, it can be opened with those who contain draconic energy.
Oh, okay. Aiden, step up.
All right. Well, you might be a telemarketer, but don't worry. We'll do what we can to help you.
That's not who I am.
Right. You talk too much. Anyway, I'm gonna put my hand on the door, and in the meantime, I'm gonna tell Muran outside on the comms to keep watch on the main door and to secure the area.
You see him like walking up the stairs with his staff. He's like, "Are we safe in here? Did you drive them off? There's no one around?"
Yeah. Rory and we got people outside protecting us. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Unless there's stragglers, like
by the way,
little rats.
Aiden, as you go up towards the door, you see depictions on either side of a large door-like device of what appears to be a being in armor throwing down javelins towards, like, basically dragons and killing them. You have to put your arm within the hole.
Wait a second.
Wouldn't be the strangest how I put my arm in, and I shove my arm in there.
Wait, no, hold on.
This mirror's a little anti-dragon, don't you think?
Well, I rolled a sense motive, but I mean,
Aiden, do you know who
with
this
my
is?
undercut.
Have you heard of this guy?
As Kuzon says that, Aiden says nope, and he's probably lying to us, but the sooner we do this, the sooner this is gonna spring the trap and get them all on top of us. I'm tired of waiting, I just wanna kill these people, and I shove my hand in there.
As you put your hand within the hole, you see some almost ornate, like not tendrils, but they are like parts of claws that come round. The bottom of them are nicely velveted as they hold your arm in place. A small prick jabs into your hand before drawing away, and then the small claws release your arm so you can pull it out.
Are you okay over there? Yeah, everything?
I'm fine, don't worry about it. And Aiden starts looking around. Wait, that wasn't a trap?
Oh, what do you mean, trap?
You're shady as fuck. I'm pretty sure you were probably one of the enemies trying to bamboozle us or something.
Well, you did exactly what you were meant to do.
There we go.
I'm gonna point my gun at him.
What
you
did
do?
You mean, man?
That's also.
And you see, like, as he flicks like a small little switch on his staff, like he barely makes a movement, suddenly you were all frozen in place. Just like the people outside. You see almost crystal-like stone work forming around your limbs as you get held in place.
Does it originally, does it start from where those needles pricked me? Is it from my arm?
All of you are being affected, almost from like the top down you're being affected. So your shoulders, your neck, parts of your face, like just...
Can I use manipulate tech to take control of this machine gun and shoot him?
You could attempt so, but I will give you a -4 to shoot with it.
Alright, I'm aiming for this.
Since you were up in his face and ready.
I didn't trust this man.
But yes, as he's looking towards all of you, you do miss. So it fires off a machine gun. Thiveron, if you wanted to do anything while your arms are being frozen, you can. I would have allowed either attack or grapple.
Aiden, if we survive this, we're having like a talk about... We all told you to stop. That was reckless and irresponsible. Hold on.
Oh, look, dispel magic. Are we free?
How close is this guy to me?
No, I've got to make a roll, and it's a difficult roll, so there's no guarantee.
I'm gonna try and make eye contact with this guy and make him make a will save real quick.
Crystal frozen shit.
I guess the facade is over. Look, he's got a new creepy face.
Same creepy character.
Same both. Oh, it's the power of the both.
So as he's making his way, you know, you did exactly as you were meant to do, just as was foretold, just as a puppet on a string. Aiden Pendragon.
Are you done yet? Aiden's not looking too impressed.
He gestures his hand and literally moves all three of you back, almost like sliding you across the carpet. It seems we shall commence the resurrection of my lord. Oh, what a glorious day this is. And as the door opens, several tails of carved dragons moving away, you see the door slowly open. And from within it, you see crumbling dust. An empty suit of armor laying on the throne of whatever was inside. However, soon enough, red energy starts to gather as it stands, slowly walking out.
The man who's...
It seems you have arrived finally. My new body. After everything I have done, you have done well to make it here. One singular desire I made, the wish that brought you here. A glorious and fitting end to it all.
I'm just letting you speak your piece before I kill you.
That will be difficult in the situation you're in. You are, after all, at my mercy. This spell is unbreakable by mortal means. Do you know why?
I'm pretty sure you're about to tell us.
Because of he carries on, just like almost as if he doesn't notice, like you just made fun of him. He's like, yes, that's right. A genie's wish. A wish made to ensure my return and to destroy and rid this planet of its draconic invaders. He snaps his iron fingers and suddenly, from above, almost portal-like, you see dragon killer armor drop down and ready their weapons. I have the means to do so. So, before I take your body, I have to ask, what was it like having your memories altered?
So you're the one that did it.
To lead you to this point, yes. And then suddenly he stops for a moment and turns as the glass and embroidered window on his thighs suddenly shatters as this small dragon smashes through it. She flies above the battlefield, above the area.
Yes, dragon waifu, save the day.
1 second, I got a roll because she's having 100% no chill on this dude. Okay. She hits him directly as he does not seem to even think about dodging. He holds up his hand, however, as the energy hits his arm, and you see it traveling across the armor's shoulders, the cape, and then towards the other arm. And I gotta make the roll for this. And it changes color from green to yellow before he fires it back towards her. She does manage to block it with her wings, actually, surprisingly. God, that was a really good roll on her part. She's forced back onto the top. You hear a slam into the thing. Just because you surprised me. I am a slayer of dragons. Now, you are at my mercy. Helpless. I have done everything to twist your mind and bring you here to this moment. And you see, like, he's looking towards himself, and the crystal that's on you guys is now also on him. It's also on the others as well.
Hey!
Finally noticed, huh?
What's going on? This isn't right. What is happening? This is my moment. This is how it was meant to go. As he's standing there, Prava, you see from around your neck, you see the small eye on the crystal that you held. It twists and turns, looking towards everything frantically, before finally breaking from the crystal cage that has encapsulated you. The floor below starts to twist, almost like the carpet is growing in size.
Oh, hello.
You can see him look towards you, Prava, and give a small nod. You do hear panic in the guy's voice, by the way. He's like, no. How did you return? I cast you into the void. Silence now. And he, like, makes the crystal go over him fully before looking towards you, Aiden. Aiden Pendragon. The boy that should have died. You may not know this, but I am the one that changed your fate on his behalf. So I give you one wish of your own. What is it you desire in this singular moment?
Break the spell.
You could have asked for power, anything you desire, but you wish for this.
I don't need
So be
anybody
it.
else's strength to kill that man.
As expected. So be it. Now I free you all. Do battle and be free of these chains now. Then you see him, like, literally lift up into the air, spreading throughout the ceiling, almost as if he's going to watch what was about to come. The crystal starts to break, and immediately as it does, you see this man take a back step. It's like, this can't be happening.
Roll initiative?
Roll initiative. But
Well, I have a crystal with an explosive blast on it still, so that has.
okay.
So it's these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys.
All right. Yeah, if this is exploding, up here, I would say it can't reach this dude because, well, he's down 10 feet down below.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to count as a warders in a way, but you can catch everybody else.
Okay. But I thought, is this spherical?
It doesn't matter if it's
Oh, okay.
he's literally behind a wall in your perspective.
Faster.
So yeah, roll. Oh, is that it? Oh, you've already rolled. Sorry,
Yeah,
let me roll. All right, so you basically chuck your device, and it's just, ooh.
So I take one of the many crystals that I have on my person, and I hold it, and you see it's like it has this internal glow, and as it dissipates into me, I cast the spell out, shooting like a crystal explosion of light and color, and also
Shiny.
shiny.
Kuzon. These
How-
guys have power armor. Kick their ass.
How big is this gun?
It is a big gun.
Do you think that I could lift it and use it? I am
I
proficient in
think-
heavy weapons.
I think if you're in your current armor, yes, you could.
I want it.
You want to pick up the big gun.
The big gun.
I like the sound of that. Right then.
And kind of standing up on this ledge, I'm just gonna shoot Bowler Cut guy. Oh, that makes sense.
Aiden.
Aiden slowly removes his glasses and puts them in his pocket while he speaks. I was saving this for somebody else, but this is the second time you've heard somebody I like. So for you, I'll make an exception. And first of all, let's see. Aiden rages. So
Oh, nice.
just a sec, that's not all of it. When I press the button, I rev up, and my blade is covered in plasma as it comes out, and it's gonna deal extra damage. Also, because of my frenzied state, I deal more damage, which is +3, so another 3 damage.
Nice. So basically, you slash upwards. He tries to block with his guard. He's almost mimicking, or I guess he would be the original of your unarmed stance. He tries blocking, but the blade just slices up and melts the armor that is his body. You see him growling in like disgust. Curse you! You're meant to be nothing more than a body. And he's going to. You can make another attack as he's trying to move away.
Oh, is that so? Don't mind if I do. In that case, I burn a resolve point, and I quickly put the blade back in my scabbard, and I press the button again as it begins to heat up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, look at that! The damage will be doubled. How about that? So, in
Ooh.
that case...
So basically, just this pillar of slash of fire come up. You can see him. He's going to use one of his reactions, however. As the fire comes up, you see him claw at it. Though it still damages him some, he can only catch one of like the flame, as the electricity does burn through his like arm as he grabs the fire. He's like, "So be it." And he's got a. Would you and Prava please make me a reflex save? Prava, you take 17 damage, but Aiden, due to that and your evasion, you just backflip out of the way.
I'm more like I sidestep it as I keep glaring at him.
Yeah, he just does the same beam that he did to Elliot, just like, boom, he's like, no! And this guy is going to, basically, you see him like stab his staff, and you see all these people suddenly covered in what appears to be a glowing shield of some sort. This guy is going to stay up here. Oh, nice. Okay, so he can catch all three of you. This guy's going to use his rockets on his shoulder to fire here and aim over here. Why is every explosion effect always a reflex save? Roll reflex.
You
Wait.
gotta dodge
18.
those flames like an action movie.
Oh, actually, am I still attuned from last combat, or did I reset because we had a long conversation? Because I actually have better reflex saves if I'm in attunement.
I would say entering, you would immediately be attuned.
Then I have a +2 to all my reflex saves because I was graviton attuned.
Aiden avoids, Yuri take 5 damage, Prava, and Kuzon takes 11. This guy missed. This guy's missed. For somehow this guy who tried to, like, you see a massive sword being drawn and like held over like Eddie's head as it's brought down, but it's just blocked by a horn as she stands back up. These two fire at Kuzon, and the 16 misses sadly. This guy fires at Prava and hits you for 11. This guy has decided to run up to you with his giant arm blade.
Oh no.
Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm almost out of stamina, but...
Prava, yeah?
We need to start clearing out. I'm gonna just take a shot at this guy here.
Oh, you hit. The cold burns so nicely. Thiveron.
Okay, so I'm going to 5-foot step here, and then I'm going to raise my arms and radiate out a slow spell that can affect everybody in this room, I think, except for one guy. How many enemies are there?
They're all the enemies.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Does slow give them some kind of minuses?
Yeah, it makes them staggered, meaning that they can only take a move or a standard action. They can't do both, and they can't do full actions.
Nice.
And then it halves their movement speed for 9 rounds. So 1.5 minutes.
So only 3 of them really made the roll save. Fuck me. Oh, that's gonna be bad for him because he needs to reload. Yep, so that's 4. 4 made it. Out of all the enemies. Oof. Oh, for pain. And the pain does not end.
No,
Since
it doesn't.
Aiden, you told me before that you had your comms on.
Yep.
Through the window beside you, Bryn, it shatters apart in a shower of rainbow glass. But a golden figure stands before it.
Fane!
I heard my little brother was in trouble.
Hardly,
I gotta move
but
him
if
down.
you're here to kick some ass, you're welcome to.
And he's not the only one. Because you also said that from the other side, the glass breaks. These people have no respect for doors. That's at the top left, by the way.
The cool guys don't use doors.
Right, this is what the dragons are doing. Yeah, okay, that works. Zane basically runs across, like, just near a wall before swinging his tail, knocking the brazier into this guy. Ellie made a roll, and currently you could see her open her mouth, and her mouth latches onto this guy's gun and shoulder, digging into his body. Moana basically jumps through the window, dashes up, and before the dude can jump around, she jumps onto his back and is literally digging her knife into him. She currently has him grappled. I'm so glad all those guys here, otherwise that would have been very anticlimactic. Bryn.
Wow, so many options to do.
Let's see, overheat. You will be burned.
It hits all 3 of these guys.
All 3 of these guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to... Of course he cast it on himself as well. Sorry about that. As the fire, like, envelops them, you see the shield around them seems to absorb the flame into their body. Like, let's see, the damage is basically halved. Elemental protections, my dear.
I'm gonna exo. Yeah, so not a blow up, Brian. I'm gonna exo target this guy.
Oh, here we go. For each attack you make with a weapon target with a blast weapon property, roll 1 attack against each target in the cone, or in this case, for 10-foot blast.
How that works?
Yes.
E and F, so I think it includes fire. It says E and F damage. So I think electric and fire damage.
Alright, so electric and fire. As it hits, you see the shield once more react. Since it counts as both, it counts for... If something's weak against it, it counts as that. But also, if there's a defense against it, it also counts as that. So yeah, they do absorb half damage, but you still do 5 damage. Aiden.
I mean, because I'm spreading out the damage. It's pretty good, even if it's halved. Like, it's still effectively like doing twice as much damage.
Yeah, it is.
So, I'm gonna slowly start putting my blade back in the scabbard again as I'm locking eyes with this guy. I take a 10-foot back jump and I lower my center of gravity. After that, how tall is this jump?
10 feet up.
Perfect. I'm immediately just gonna roll acrobatics to jump up there.
No, wait, didn't you use your move action to resheath your sword?
No, that's that I can do that by spending resolve. It doesn't take an action.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So actually, wait, sorry, I forgot to put it there. Let me burn another resolve point. There we go. And I jump up here. And trick attack the boss again.
Oof.
Ah, fuck it. Just a normal
Thankfully,
attack.
you can see him like barely like bringing up his defenses as you jump up. He's like,
I just jump up there and bam, straight to the face. And now...
slash. Okay, so that's half due to the shield, the elemental damage, but the 10 physical does get through. You can see him like trying to block it, but the blade still digs into him, even as the shield tries to weaken your sheath damage.
So for the next round, everybody that failed that roar, they are under the fear effect from me.
Mm-hmm. 1d10. And you see him, he's absorbed the fire once more. No, hang on, wait a minute. Take off 6. Sorry,
So 22
I
then.
put 3. Yep, 22.
20.
And then he's going to use his move action to take a defensive stand. Like, it seems like a combat stand. Like, poof. Aiden, you can make an attack on this dude as he's moving away.
Oh yeah, I will. Once again, I want to burn another resolve point. And here comes the attack.
No. Thankfully, he just managed to dodge it. As he reaches here. Bryn, you recognize this spell.
Oh
Oh
boy.
no!
Well, he can sacrifice one peedly little dude. Bryn, Thiveron, and Prava, please make reflex save. So 20 damage to Thiveron, Prava. Oh my god, this dude is like...
I just ran out of stamina. I think Thiveron is hurt though.
He only got hit for 20.
Oh, I only got hit for 20? I was
Yeah,
like,
don't
did I
worry.
just get blasted?
No, you're fine, don't worry.
Fine is relative.
Oh, this guy isn't dead. Oh man, I was so excited.
It's
I was
because of
hoping
it.
he'd be dead.
You can see that he only survived because of a fire shield.
Damn
Okay.
it!
I am into my meat now.
Ooh.
This guy is gonna shoot at him. Zane just no-sells that shit. This guy does manage to stab Ellie as he's being held. This guy reloads and can't do fuck all else thanks to Thiveron. This guy
You're welcome.
reloads and aims for Kuzon.
Take more CC spells, I got it.
He tried his action to get her off, but it did not work. So he's literally gonna start dragging her along the wall. Just Bryan's much is a bit less threatening than the dude who keeps trying to attack his boss. So he's gonna try to attack Aiden. He's gonna use his special action. Aiden, roll Constitution, Fortitude. Sorry.
I say, wow, that's rough.
Oh, you do.
Constitution.
You take 3 damage. However, you just no-sell like this. Like he basically has a small needle in his wrist. He stabs you in the shoulder. Prava.
Yeah, I can't kill that guy as promised, though taking an opportunity attack. So I'm actually just going to gravity hold this guy instead.
Oh my god. Okay, he does not make it.
Cool. He's going to take an opportunity attack from me, Kuzon, and Thiveron as I move him to here.
You're
me,
currently in the action. You can't take the attack.
Okay, fair enough.
These two can.
I'm gonna
Okay.
punch.
I'm gonna save the acid attack for my turn. So
I missed.
You know that for sure.
20
Oh, yep. You hit.
for 16.
So you move him like over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Nicely done. You basically jab into his body and pull it out as he goes by. Nice. Thiveron.
Okay. I am going to step up. And as I move, I'm going to start barking and snarling at him and use my improved intimidate to take an intimidation roll as I move. After that, I am casting Phase Blade, which is a swift action. So now I'm going to hit him with my acid attack on EAC instead of KAC.
Oh. You just slash through his armor like it's nothing. He was expecting no sell your spear, but it just phased through his gun and slashed at him. What?
Yeah, this level I took very much, like a lot of care to actually make myself close combat viable.
Oh yes, you can make that. Let's roll. Awesome. Ellie throws this dude over the side. I need to do full damage. Bryn, as you're like facing this dude, all you see is like a small puff of like almost breath weapon. But it's like, oh, and this dude just dies. Basically, he did use his claw, but I thought it would be funny if he just went like spat at him and.
Ah, thank you for the help, Zane.
He looks all proud of himself. He's like, "This is the most fun I've had in ages."
That means I'm gonna do this because I think it'll be cool, and this guy's dead now. I'm gonna use manipulate tech on this dead man.
That's with your new ability.
Yup. Treat him as technology.
You roll damage 46.
Hell yeah! All right.
So can we just encapsulate just how creepy this looks? Like this dude's about to fall over after Zane basically killed him, and then he just suddenly stops, turns around without any flipping normal movement of a human body, and just fires a grenade launcher.
And instantly after he fires that grenade launcher, he falls to the floor dead. Because it only lasts for 1 round, I think.
And this dude is also he also gets like a bag full of shrapnel. He's like, "You are annoying, Master. I'm not feeling so well." Kuzon.
I'm gonna
So cool.
kneel down in front of Prava and put my barrier. Actually, wait. I have to move in order to do that. Kneel down and bring up a barrier.
For Prava.
Then I'm going to I'll switch to my Everice gun, and I'm gonna keep focusing this guy since he's concentrating on some kind of spell or something. So I'll hit him with the Ice Vortex.
You did miss, sadly.
Yeah, I think if I just got that result, I would have missed no matter what.
Aiden.
Ash, can I do the line?
You can.
Okay, I'm still not sure exactly how it works, so I'll just leave it to you. Aiden once again lowers his body with his free hand. He just grabs the needle in his neck and just flicks it off. He then spins the blade around, and you see that all the muscles in his body are starting to strain and his veins are popping up. And I just glare at this guy and say, "Don't move." And in a vortex of both dashing and quick slashes, I just fucking boom straight through these boys.
Yes, this is the ability. They have to make a reflex save away from your attack. This is a once per day thing, however, so it's not like he can spam it like Bryn. Not that I'm sure about that or anything.
Right, so first of all, trick attack.
You pass by the boss, like basically slashing him across the chest, but he managed to survive. This dude is dead. Well, this dude is barely alive. Like he is on his last legs.
Just a moment, what you're saying is somebody died, correct?
Yes.
Thiveron, a long time ago, gave me a pretty sweet present, which I actually have never used yet. Since he died, I wanna
Yeah.
use the medal that he gave me.
That means you can move around the battlefield for your full movement as you desire.
Yep.
And he's going to use his the energy that you used against you. Plasma Sheath, 25 damage.
Okay.
By the way, he's basically like, you can see his armor like twitching. He's like barely standing. He just managed to block your blade one more time and basically jam his fingers into your shoulder. It's like, fine, I'll simply find a new body if I can kill you.
Not very classy for somebody's dying words.
Bullcut is dead.
We defeated the mighty Bullcut.
The true villain.
I imagine as I swooshed
bull
past him, I
blade
just
has been
fucking
defeated.
beheaded him. And his head was sent flying.
You just shaved his head and it killed him.
It's like, no! Let's see.
Of my power.
Rhino is hit. Thiveron, what's your AC?
EAC 19, KAC 220.
Oof. Yes, he does hit. 10 damage. These guys are going to attack you, Kuzon. They are going to full auto you.
I made the best alloy.
Sorry, I forgot. This dude does have a +2 for holding a thing. He misses all shots but one. Because when you have like a biped, it's +2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's all we got though.
Oh, did I take 10?
16
Oh, shit.
damage. Oh wow, I almost got full damage on that.
Oh, there's blood.
It's like boom, boom, boom,
Broke
boom,
my
boom,
stamina.
boom, 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 boom.
16. Okay, so I'm down to take 9.
This guy can't catch a break. He's fucking everywhere. He's staggered, still slowed.
Speaking of,
He's also flat-footed.
originating here, I'm gonna black hole everything 20 feet towards me. So all these guys make fortitude saves or get ripped off the balcony.
Alright, so you can basically force them all off if you want to.
Yep, just rip all off the balcony.
Opportunity attack?
Yep.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh my
To the
god,
boss.
what an unceremonious death for this dude. She fell off and broke his neck. Captain everything. He was stunned, slowed, he was dazed, he lost his gun, and then some dude pulled him off and he's like, ow. This dude just gets pulled like towards the center. He's like,
I'm just mounted, just like, yeah.
This guy basically backflips off, but he's like barely holding himself together as the blade that it hit, like you hit him, he's like twitching and barely standing. He's like,
Is he on the
you
edge?
see? No, he's like
He fell down.
basically down here. Yeah.
Ah, man. I wasn't planning something really cool and creepy.
Thiveron.
Okay, so did he take damage from the acid on his turn?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I made him take the damage now. You just see him like burning in the acid. He's more focused on you. He's angry.
Okay. Would be a shame if I phase bladed and hit him again, wouldn't it?
It would be a shame if I phase bladed you.
Well, I guess I talk shit, I get hit. So
God, you would have got a lot of damage on that though. It's like slash. Ellie is going to do something. And Aiden, she's going to cast an elemental weapon buff on you. Your weapon now has acid damage.
Nice.
Plus 2d6. Rana, let's see if you can be a fucking champion. Smashing
Shove
through
them out
the
the
window.
window.
It's like, get the fuck out of the way. Let's see. He's gonna fly over here. Perfect range. Let's have a look. Nice. Bryn.
So if I was to jump down here, would I have to make a roll?
Yeah, you have to make an athletics roll. You can always help Thiveron. He's getting stabbed.
Don't you mean acrobatics?
Thiveron's getting stabbed.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
getting stabbed over there.
I will help Thiveron then.
Yeah, you can have that. But yeah, Thiveron, you didn't get hit. I'm just saying.
Spells. All right,
Oh, okay.
I'm going to and I'm gonna magic missile this.
You've used magic missile. He is hurt.
Son of a bitch!
Kuzon.
I'm gonna shoot this one. Well, I guess I'll have to X the target and then shoot him.
Yeah, you open fire and he can't take cover behind the railing as your ice just teleports into range and slams into him. Aiden.
Right. First of all, I'm going to slowly put my weapon away back in the scabbard and press the button. And I'm gonna slowly start walking this way until I suddenly turn around and start bolting like a man possessed. When I reach the edge, instead of jumping for distance, I wanna jump for height, and I wanna land right on top of this boy with a blade attack.
You will take damage from the height as
I
well,
will.
but
I'll
you
take
will
it.
deal damage from. He will take damage from the height.
For the jump, 31.
Are you dragooning this shit?
Yes, I want to get as much height as possible as I come slamming down on top of him. So first of all, trick attack. I'm gonna assume that doesn't hit.
I
Anyway,
think you can take an acrobatics check in this system to avoid the first 10 feet of fall damage, by the way. I think
Oh.
it's DC 15 or something.
should I roll that?
Well, I mean, Ash rolls that in the end, but hold on.
Okay. For now, I'll just make the
if you
attack.
want,
Because I was looking up the falling rules, because I'm pretty sure that the guys who took fall damage from me are also knocked prone.
Oh, if they're knocked prone, does that mean that I get some kind of bonus because I'm attacking with a melee attack?
yeah.
So 17. Since he's on the ground, is that good enough to hit him? That's the question.
That he's on prone. You're attacking with a melee weapon as well. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So first of all, he takes 15 physical from the hit.
You take 5 damage.
Okay.
So as you come back down onto him, describe how you finish this guy off.
As he looks up, I just bring my blade down and I plunge it into his chest. Then rather than pulling it back, I start pushing it forward and with a flurry flick it to the side and splatter his blood everywhere. Then as a swift motion, I just behead him and put my weapon away.
Well, I guess armored chunk since he doesn't have blood. The red energy clings to your blade as you cast it off, but the helmet rolls off down the hall as you finished him off. The acid burning away the remainder of the armor. You can hear him go, "But I created you." This guy whiffs and he misses you, Aiden, as he's like pure angry at the fact that he missed you.
I just glare at him.
These guys are going to attempt another. They miss you, Kuzon. They're trying to hit Kuzon. It's like, got him down. Miss.
I don't want to imagine they're missing me. It's just my armor is tough and they just keep
Yeah, you just
glancing
hold.
off.
Despite the heavy weapons they're using, you're just holding it up as a. Attack you, Thiveron. And he misses. And this guy has had enough, and he's going to use. Would Thiveron, Bryn, Prava, and Kuzon please make a reflex roll?
Oh,
What I
Oh,
was
wait a minute.
trying to avoid.
Oh,
I stepped
and
right
that dude,
into.
and this dude. Oh, this dude's got to make one as well.
I like how you have the note about mysticism checks on your reflex save.
Oh. Why is it on? Is it? I think it's.
You're
just
like
on
while you're dodging, you're like, oh, I'm thinking about computers right now.
Man,
It's like-
I really like computers.
This computers kick ass.
It doesn't make sense that it's there though. I don't even know why it's there.
11 damage to Thiveron, Kuzon, Prava, Bryn, every half damage. Moana backflips out of its way. And this dude is barely standing. Like, he is on his last legs due to poison. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, wait.
Speaking of poison, Thiveron, could you roll for poison?
Oh yeah, the poison
didn't
stuff
move.
on the ground.
Oh, okay. What am I rolling for it?
2d. I think it's 2d4.
Wasn't it 36?
Oh yeah, if it's just the damage from a normal attack from the assassin, yeah, it's 2d4, 6 points.
This wouldn't be the first time somebody melts in your poison.
Oh my
No.
god, no way!
Yeah, just this guy make a fortitude save, and if he fails, out the window with him.
Bye.
Wait, which one? This dude.
This guy, yep.
He's going for that
Alright.
achievement.
I'm assuming
45
there's
foot
still
range,
there's
and then
still only
15.
2 windows that are unbroken, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
this window and this window are the only
Well,
two left unbroken.
Are you throwing this dude for this window?
No,
or this one?
This one's still not broken until this guy goes through.
Well, you can lift him up. You just toss him out.
Oh yeah, just right through the stained glass.
Ah! He gets flung the fuck out.
Cool, that's my whole turn.
11.
Quick at the other two windows.
No, wait, not 11. You took 5, sorry.
5? Okay.
Yeah, because you made the reflex. You managed to put up a crystal shield just in time. So Prava murders a guy, since this is not a very... that is a very big height.
So what I'm doing is I'm going to move down here. Oh, wrong person.
Over Prava and over the barrier.
Move down here, and then I'm going to cast good old-fashioned fog cloud,
Classic.
Bogdan?
but not on me. I'm going to do it on him to prevent him from continuing to fire grenades out.
Oh, that dude right over in the corner.
Yep.
He's never
Okay,
gonna be
20
able to
foot
do
spread.
anything.
A poor
There's
guy.
a 20-foot spread on him, so he's either got to move out of the fog cloud and give up the rest of his turn because he's staggered, or he's got to fire blindly.
God, that spell is so cool. Oh, I just skipped Edley's turn. Yeah, I think this. Do you resist the attempt to polymorph you?
Oh my god. No, that's the question of the day, isn't it? Oh, sure. Fuck me up, fam.
Okay then. As she puts her hand out towards you, and basically this dragonic energy goes towards you, you suddenly see the scales, the small little scales on your hands suddenly start growing up across your arms. You suddenly gain full claws. This means that it's always plus your level itself that adds on to the damage of your claws. And you also gain damage resistance magic 3, resistance to slashing and piercing. No, actually, yeah, 10 resistance damage to slashing, since you're only going to pick 1. You gain the full racial claws. You're also going to be gaining +2 natural AC. You also have blind sense vibration.
So this is how Thiveron feels.
Yep. Well, I have blind sight, not blind sense. It's better.
Oh, I'm sorry that I can't meet your standards.
No, fucking peasant.
And you're gaining +10 to your movement speed. So basically, what color are your scales, by the way?
Huh, that's a good question. I was thinking silverish like mom. White and silverish mix.
Just like, "Argh!" Now you're a raging dragon boy. You know what? Since he sees what you're doing, he's going to move over here, smash this window. No, that's where Eddie came from, actually. He's going to come over here. And he's going to attack. Oh, he barely misses. That's a low roll. That's a shame. Bryn.
This man. Oh. This man's trying to get away? that what's happening?
Hmm? Oh, that
This man's
man's
trying to get
attacking
away?
Aiden. But the
Oh.
one next to the one next to Zane missed. Like this is Zane missed him. And this guy's in a fog cloud, so he can't see.
We're gonna ignore that man still.
Poor dude. He's a bad guy too. He deserves respect.
Oh, your fog cloud is way fancier than the one I drew.
To be fair, for yours was done by hand, so it has its charm.
Yeah, exactly. It's more charming.
Look at you getting fancy and shit, Ash.
Do the magic missile.
Pew pew.
11 damage. Nice.
And
Kuzon?
I've leveled 2 spell slots.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. What's going on in this corner?
We're just
Oh,
bullying
that's-
Knut.
He's in the fog right now, and your heavy weapon could hit him.
Timeout.
I'm basically forcing him to either fire his grenades blindly or use his one action
Yeah.
to move out of the fog cloud.
I just see the fog cloud and I pull out my new big gun and I'll just fire the explosives into it.
Right, so I gotta make a save for him.
If he's got concealment, it's a 50% miss chance automatically. But I mean, all that happens is that it scatters and hits a different tile. That's really all that happens with explosive weapons.
So yes, and he fails, and he takes for 4 damage.
The thing is about the attack is it has the bright property, so you just see like a flash of light just from the inside.
Oof. Ah! Aiden.
Since I already put my sword away, this is good because Aiden sharpens his claws. Come here, boy. First
He's
of
like
all,
he's like backing up a little as you just.
trick attack. I want to stagger him. Not
hits?
stagger him, I want to flatfoot him. Right.
Okay.
Comes the CQC. Oh, I'm gonna assume that hits.
Ooh.
Right,
Yep.
so that is just a second. 5d8. Plus you mentioned my level, so that's an extra 42. 45. That's 55 damage as I grab him by the head. I slam him to the nearby wall, I let him drop to the ground, and then I just jump on top of him and start maiming him as I ground and pound him into the fucking floor.
Yeah, that's definitely enough damage. Dude, your boost just ripping apart his armor like a tin can.
Dude, that trick
I don't
attack
know,
damage
I
was
survived that.
so fucking high, it's insane. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's max rolls on the fucking trick attack almost.
I know, right? This guy. You know what? All you hear from this side is a small, like, shatter. It's like,
He's
and
running.
this dude. Yeah, basically, this dude get out what appears to be almost like a bunker buster, jammed it into Zane's chest, and oh wait, he's the only one left, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you know what? I'm pulling the whole wall thing. I think you guys have this one dude that's on death's door. I'm just saying, just probably. So we're going to narrative time now.
As I get up from the guy just maimed, I rip his head off, and the one window that's still unbroken, I just Kobe that shit and break it with the guy's head.
Zane finishes off this dude by tossing him out the same window.
One of them got out. Murana, go after him.
Rana nods. She's gonna jump out this window. She's hanging on the side though. She has the same climbing gloves you do.
So this boy's some kind of living armor, is he? Is that the situation? Probably going to examine his body thoroughly.
Ah.
I'm healing myself.
The hatch, you see, like,
Oh, shit.
on, like,
Earthquake!
That was me.
Oh wait, who needs oh wait, can I mend myself until I'm at full health?
I don't think you're a construct, are you?
You
I
can make
can do.
living creatures constructs. That's why
Oh.
we're gonna have to talk about that.
If you do that, I could mend you as well. I think you can only mend something once a day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Creature.
Let me see.
I sent you some messages
If you're-
on Discord.
Yeah, I'll see you in a second. Actually, since it's almost a break, did people want to take a small break here?
Yeah, this is a good chance. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
What's lunchtime?
Lunchtime.
So, like, what's up with this dragon? Now that all of these guys are dead.
Oh, this guy's body's way more interesting. I want to hear about what this guy actually is.
Can someone roll for Thiveron? Joe went to feed his cat.
I'm gonna meditate for a second for my plus D6.
Basically, this looks like, with the energy now dissipated, this armor was basically inhabited by that guy, but you can definitely tell the reason behind that is because the armor itself was designed to do that. The markings on the armor, the dark metal of the armor, all of it basically indicates exactly what it was meant to do, was meant to house the soul for this guy for as long as it possibly could.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, should we help this dragon? I mean...
Don't worry. I think my parents would be able to break it open. The caretaker probably did that to her. She looks unharmed, as much as she was the last time I saw her. She does look beaten up quite badly, but it looks like old wounds, not new ones.
I'm gonna chill out, and for the first time since I got it, I'm gonna let my bio heart. If we take like a 10-minute rest, and I spend some resolve point, I gain a bit of HP back too.
So if we're taking a 10-minute break, I'm gonna assume that's enough for me to heal. I'll spend 2 resolve points and get back to full health as well.
Does Ellie still need attention? Or
She's still hurt.
Thiveron, this guy had a magical cloak, but we can't study it here, so I'm giving it to you to study in your lab when we get back to the ship.
I can do that as soon as we're back to the ship. But if we're taking a 10-minute break, I'm going to use my healing touch ability on Ellie because Aiden asked me to. So over the 10 minutes, she gains 45 HP back.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
It's only once per day, though.
Still pretty good.
How are the rest of the troops outside? Was everything else taken care of?
According to the comms, it seems like they are clearing up everything, but the spell is still in effect currently.
Morana, did you catch the runner?
She confirms as much. She sniped him from her position. She's on her way back.
Rendezvous with the rest of the troops and see what we're gonna do with the people that are frozen. We're gonna keep exploring this area and see if we can't undo the spell. Get ready to evacuate them once they're free.
I'll see you soon.
Eden, should I contact our ship?
Yeah, make sure it's nearby. We might need it. I'm gonna jump down here after I make sure the tail is fine and check this door. This guy came from a passageway down below, right? Does it lead somewhere, or is it just like a small room where the armor was being kept?
It seems like it was just some sort of tomb. There's a old spear in there. There's a sword. Looks rusted down to the hilt. There's a couple paintings.
Yeah,
Almost looks like a burial tomb.
looks like some knickknacks. Some of them might be pretty old, might catch a pretty penny, but we're not here for that now. Let's start looking for whatever's the cause of the spell. We still need to break it.
Oh wait, as you say that, you hear, "That would be me."
Oh, there you are.
He comes back down from the ceiling.
Oh, is that where he was all this time?
The being is like wrapped in the cloth of the carpet. Its glowing heart and eyes staring down towards you. The body that it's wrapped around is still present.
Hello, Carpet Man. It is a pleasure to be meeting you. Thank you for unfreezing us.
Greetings to you too, Bryn.
Ah, I guess I don't have to introduce
Yeah,
myself. Cool.
He's been watching us for a while, actually. He's been in my necklace.
Ah.
Yes.
So
I do apologize for the deception.
I
Would
mean,
you
not
like-
really a deception. I invited you to come with us. This is a little bit more than I expected you to do. I kind of expected you to just be an observer. That was kind of the arrangement, but I see you had other plans.
That is true. But after he assigned my vessel to the void, there was only really one way out, to make a deal. Thankfully, I had somebody who was willing to take me with them, as a friend.
Yes, and we are friends, right? So you're going to explain what this is all about?
How much of a story would you like to hear? And how much do you know?
Prava sits down, like, well, I have time. What about the rest of you?
He looks towards you, Aiden. Since it involves you quite heavily, it's like, are you sure you want to even know?
I just want to know the truth. How much of my memories were messed with?
Yes, that is the result of a wish. That man before you, well, the remains that you have in your pocket at least, was Lord Klein Gashri. He was a former dragon slayer, the Skyfire, renowned mercenaries of honor. But back in the day, there were ones that decided that all dragons should be rid of their planet. But when the rest of the Skyfire and the metallic dragons refused this, they took him down. He made one last wish, and he wished to return, to assure his return, and I granted it. There were stipulations. I said when I would meet him again, his downfall would be assured.
So he wished that no matter what, he would be able to come back, and you're like, yeah, but like if I see you again, you dead. And he's like, all right, I take that bet.
Desperate men make desperate decisions.
Yes, he thought he had gotten rid of me forever by throwing my vessel into the void. Your vessel, the vessel that you and your parents were on, Aiden. Well, your birth parents at least. It was always shot down, destroyed. You all were lost along with your fellow passengers. His wish inadvertently kept you alive and led you to the arms of dragons. Your actions were always your own. Only small deviancies were made.
That would make sense considering I still don't find it strange that I purposely triggered the trap even though it was there. Considering he unconsciously starts running his fingers through the dog tags that are around his neck. Considering how triggering traps usually works, there's no way I would endanger my people like that. And yet
Yes.
I still feel like I did the right thing despite doing something so foolish.
That is exactly why. You would always put yourself in danger. You have made sure your body is hardy, strong, in order to face any traps and get in the way of others. And I will tell you something. While most of the dog tags you hold are dead, there are 3 that were changed to ensure that mentality. Though I am sure you do not regret such mentality.
Of course I don't. How can I regret the people I care for being alive?
I am glad. You already know of one that survived.
Sarah.
Correct. Another runs with the Black Hounds. Ratir. And the third, I am unsure of the third's location. The third's name is Joshua, the heavy weapons expert that died holding off the enemies as you ran. Sarah was the only one that stuck around. Your relationship were hidden from you.
So it's not that everybody else was tricked and I was worried that somebody is trying to harm them. She was actually there, I just didn't know it.
That is correct. Only
Then-
your memories.
Then what of my dreams? I had dreams of her back when we were on Brian's world. I saw how she died and something changed. What was that?
I will be honest. Not even I know what exactly changed at that moment. Something of great magical fortitude somehow broke the spell.
I took him to Thiveron and he took a look at them. He told me he felt divination magic on them.
And he dug deep, if I remember. Very deep.
He is good at what he does, even though I'm ashamed to admit I don't really understand exactly how he does what he does.
Like throwing a metaphysical d20, he somehow managed to mess with the flow of my wish.
Said the GM begrudgingly.
Yeah, Prava, do you say that out loud? Because they did. Those two never mentioned anything.
That to Bryn, because like, yeah, they kept this completely secret from all of us. Like, Bryn, are you in any of what?
I'm a little bit confused still. But,
I'm sorry, everybody. It was requested that I keep it secret.
If you wanna blame somebody, blame me, not Thiveron. He only kept it a secret because of me.
So is this what you were going on about at the beach? Is that what that all?
What was I supposed to say, Prava? That a person that I care deeply for was right there and alive and well, instead of, you know, dead somewhere in the middle of space?
I told you about the shadow monster I saw and trusted you to believe me. Speaking of, Thiveron, Zane, you guys saw that this time, right? That's the thing I saw on the beach, the big thing. The king
that thing. Zane turns around. Oh yeah, that thing was creepy.
Wait,
that was huge.
I thought Prava was having hallucinations or something.
Oh no, there was like a shadow titan that turned up.
Yeah, hold on.
Like
let
mom,
me get the video footage. Here, look at this thing.
It's like you just see in the video a kaiju battle of this giant shadow monster and 3 different dragons all attacking it at once. Like your brother, your mother, and your father all attacked it at some point. Just boom, boom, boom.
Oh
boom,
wow,
boom, boom.
Prava, this looks like a bigger, more cooler version than you.
It came out whenever I used my photolytic abilities, so I'm kind of worried that it might be tracking me through my output.
Right, the genie looks towards you, well, the Jinn looks towards you, Aiden, and goes, I am surprised. I would have thought that you may have had a bit more worry that you weren't in control of your own actions and your destiny.
You are right about one thing. I was scared. I was scared about Sarah. If she turned out that she infiltrated the HQ, I would have been scared for everybody but her. If it turns out that something brought her back by mistake or whatever, I would have been scared about her and her well-being. Now that we know what happened, well, that's definitely off my shoulders.
I am glad.
Sadly, he died a little bit too quick. I wasn't done taking out my frustration on him, but yeah, let's say he's done.
To be fair, you did go kind of hard on him.
He hurt my dad and He stops himself before he says anything. He hurt my dad and Ellie. So what happens with me now then?
You are as where you always been. Free to make your own choices. Do what you wish. Try to hunt down the remaining 2 that are missing.
Oh, you better believe I am.
Continue growing your family and all that good stuff. As for me, I suppose I'll be once more out in that world. Somewhere. He looks back towards you, Prava. I thank you for bringing me with you.
I mean, yeah, looks like it worked out well for us. Thanks for your help here today.
I suggest if there's any more questions, you ask them soon. I'll be leaving when I can.
Is it true that you guys always, you know, change and nudge the wishes and how they come up? Is that like a whim thing, or is that something you can't control?
Wait, can we all get wishes?
Not
if I
a good
allowed
idea.
that to, could you imagine what would happen?
I mean, we could solve a lot of problems right here, right now. We have another planet that I think is in danger, like boom, bam.
Brian,
Wait,
relying on Ginny's help always ends up bad. Which is why I was very careful when I asked for the wish to break the spell. Because everything you ask for gets twisted.
But this genie's my friend.
Thiveron's going to point over to the dead guy that Aiden messed up really bad and say, that's what happens when you rely on the help of a genie.
But I mean, that was a bad guy.
There's also a chance that I'm inclined to lie to you about the fact that I have to twist wishes. Do you really want to take that risk?
I got what I wanted.
My wish came true. He holds gun.
Precious gun.
If you want, I can legally make that gun yours.
Yes.
Just
before-
magically change the... Yeah, plus you don't know what kind of crimes this gun is tied to. Like, maybe it becomes yours and all of a sudden you're tied into a lot of bad business.
I'm just gonna hold it really close and just like talk to you guys in hushed tones and like, the gun doesn't know how many crimes I'm involved in. I think it's fine.
By the way, out of character, Ash, I couldn't help but notice that Talia is constantly nudging herself closer to me. Is that intentional?
Yeah, I was just doing it for fun.
Aiden's
She's
just
latched onto you.
now that he's basically going to lower the spell after a while and the berries are dead here and everybody's still talking, Aiden's gonna take Ellie's hand and say, come on, let's get out of here.
She's totally fine with that.
Before leaving, Thiveron is gonna walk up to the G and say, I don't have a wish, but merely a request. My goddess has tasked me with the curation of all the most interesting stories and the traditions of all people in the Pact world. Would you tell me yours?
You're all very, very interesting beings. You know that?
Thiveron's going to look over it, kind of shrug and say, I only do what my goddess asks, and what my friends ask.
Then come. In the wake of war, I shall tell you the story of me and the events that have taken place. Oh, but before we go into the overview map again, he basically does turn towards you, Prava, and says, I'm sorry I will not have to, can join you on your travels once again. It was fun, however.
Yeah, that's alright. You have your own life, you know, your own stuff to do. Just promise we'll meet again someday, okay?
He does lean down a little and go, do not worry. We will most definitely meet again.
Oh, one last thing, Aiden says as he is at the door with Ellie.
Zane's like looking up at, how long does it take you to walk away?
This, and he points towards the massive wound on his chest. What the fuck did this?
Oh, that? I think it's better if you find out yourself.
Oh, great. Another mystery.
That's nothing to do with me.
Do you want to use the orb of friendship to find out?
That is true. Now that my spell has been lifted from him, you can probably see his true past.
Oh, and when he's given the green light for using the orb of friendship, Aiden immediately runs away.
Just
Can't wait for Prava to gravity well him just to force it.
Stay away from me, Prava! Don't touch me!
The orb of friendship explicitly requires consent, so unfortunately.
So Prava's like running after Aiden, trying to convince him. Ellie's following Aiden close behind. Kuzon's fixing up his armor. Thiveron's talking to Virgin. Zane is sticking next to Bryn, who's still sort of injured.
I'm glad we could learn about this malicious ploy to take over Aiden's body and just leave off on it lighthearted. This man spent his whole life, his whole ambition was to just specifically fuck Aiden over, and we're just but
and Prava holds up the helmet, and he's like, yeah, and now we got a spare body out of it.
The genie is going to point out, all this wasn't a point of him. It was finding out the truth, accepting that you had control of your life, and so on and so forth.
I mean, body snatchers are way punchier,
If you want to remember this journey for the guy who desperately wanted Aiden's body, then go ahead.
Can we please not remember him like that?
Zane just laughs.
Can we not call him that?
What's wrong with the guy wanting your body?
Your body. He didn't care about.
You're doing this on purpose, Bryn, aren't you?
Doing what?
Also, Brian, was I too bloodthirsty and angry at the time, or did one of the dead enemies suddenly get back up and attack?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I think I saw that too. I was up to the balcony. He like made some weird unnatural jerking motion and moved almost machine-like to fire.
Okay, so I may have been refining my abilities, trying to find like the myriad of ways technology and magic can interact, and apparently you can trick magic into thinking things are technology.
Ooh,
So
never
I like this.
Never let Kuzon hear that. He's gonna blow a fuse.
I don't like
I
this.
mean, Kuzon, you already felt it when I mended you.
Kuzon's body is like 50% technology already, though, so you think it'd be real easy with him.
True.
Kuzon just takes his like metal knuckle and like wraps the back of his head, and you just hear like a hollow metal like dunk dunk.
I've already took the liberty of booking one of the best resorts in the city. So as soon as you guys are ready to get out of the cold and get the fuck out of here, I suggest we get into some comfy clothes and head out there. I've spoken with Murana and she's gonna handle the relief efforts, so everything should be fine without us. We can leave.
It's vacation part 2?
Hell yeah! She
Hell
says
yeah.
her and the boys are gonna join us after they're done.